Well, good morning, YouTube. Here it is, third day after we started the post. I didn't get out here yesterday. I got really sidetracked with a bunch of other work, but we're up here today. I got my little toolbox. Love this little thing, pallet on the pallet forks. I just built some 3 sides on it, and man, you can cram a lot of stuff in there. So anyway, just came up here. I've got these 5x6s cut, and I'm going to be doing the diagonal permanent bracing at each of the posts. So we're going to be up here today cutting these and putting these in so that when we are done, I can take all this temporary bracing off, and then we'll be ready to start framing the roof. I did drag get out the sawmill or fire up the sawmill and cut up a few new rafters. So we'll go from there. And then one thing I may do, I think I may change my design. I think I'm gonna add another beam from this center post right here so that I can set a king post to catch the middle rafters, and then do a diagonal off the left and to the right of that to give that roof some structural stability against racking. Because if you just do the straight rafters, you don't have anything prohibiting it from falling over like a deck of cards. So just like all of these diagonal braces keep my posts, you know, I mean, this is solid, it's not, can't move it at all. But if I take those off, you know, you lose a little bit of that rigidity. So this diagonal bracing gives you that rigidity so that everything doesn't fold like a deck of cards. So there's a couple ways that I could do that. I could skip the beam in the middle, and I could just run a diagonal off of this to the next rafter. So I could do that, and that would be fine. I could put one here and then one here, and then leave all of this open. But I may look at my lumber or look at my logs down there. If I can mill another one, I've got some smaller, what is it, 6x8s that I've got a couple of 6x8 beams that I could put in here to do that. So I may do that, or I may just mill up another 8x10 if I've got a log big enough that I can make that happen. So we'll see. Kind of figuring it out as I go along on the roofing part. Everything's going to plan here. So, you know, there's just a couple of different options on the roof framing, and I kind of go back and forth on which one I want to do. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna get out my tools, and we're gonna start cutting these diagonal braces and get these installed. So I've got the 4 corners, these brackets cut, set down, and I'm gonna start installing them. I think because of the weight, I'm gonna try and strap them up to pull them tight and then screw them in. So we'll see how that goes. It's so windy, it's probably gonna knock over my tripod a whole bunch though. So windy, it's even blown my ladder over. But I'm strapping this in place. I don't have it set in place yet. I got to move it over a few inches. I'm gonna try and get it flush with the outside edge of the post and go from there. But boy, it's windy. But putting this strap in place is the only way really to do it, I think, solo. All right, we're gonna do 2 screws. We've got an 8-inch and a 10-inch. So we're going to do the 8 10 right there. So I need to mark how high up I won't come up each one. We got one installed. Checked the level and it is dead plumb. So we're good. Ow. Alright, let's get these two set. And then we can take down these two braces. That'll be pretty darn nice. We've got two posts set. One over here, one over here. These have been drying for a long time, so they got some checking in them. Shouldn't get any worse though, because I've had them for quite a while. You can see I drilled out for the screws. I've got an 8-inch and then a 10-inch screw. So each screw I measured out goes into the post about 4.5 inches, something like that. So yeah, looks pretty good, I think. Hey, if you're ever doing this on your own, this strap or a strap is your friend. That would be a nightmare without a strap. Trying to hold that solo and get any semblance of tight joinery would be basically impossible. Not impossible, but it wouldn't be fun. All right, all the bracing is down, all the temporary bracing. These corner diagonals is what keeps it falling over from like a deck of cards. So you've got this diagonal, that diagonal, and they're opposing each other, and that diagonal force is what keeps your structure from falling over. So we have, but so far I am super thrilled with this progress. It's pretty nice. One of the fun things of owning a sawmill is if you decide you want another beam, you just hop on your sawmill and you go build it. So that is what I did. I milled another 8x10. Check it out, that heart shape. I milled another 8x10 that I'm gonna put across this mid-span here. This will tie this together. I can do another lateral brace going this way. There's a little bit of play in this going back and forth, which will go away when I get my roof in and all that, but I've got the lumber and it'll give me something to if I do a ridge board, I can do a king post here to hold the ridge board and do all that, and so why not? And then plus it may give us another spot to hang a hammock. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop in this other beam. But the challenge is I'm by myself again today, and even if I didn't have these beams in the way on the sides, I wouldn't want to bring my tractor over to do that because I'd have to drive up on the slab, which the slab should hold it. It's not the heaviest tractor in the world, you know, around 3,500, probably 4,000 pounds. But I just don't want to risk cracking the concrete. And it's, you know, be a little finicky and all that. But with the beams in place, even if I was willing to risk cracking the concrete, you know, that'd be challenging. So what I've done is rented a material lifter. Got it from Home Depot up the street, and it's got a hand crank, and it can lift loads up to 450 pounds up to 12 feet. I don't know what that weighs, but it's not 450. It's maybe 250. Something like that. So we're gonna use this. I've already cut the beam to length. I'm gonna pull it over here to the side. I'm gonna use the forks to set the beam on this, and then I'm gonna wheel it around and I'm gonna raise it in place and drop it in place. So let's see how that goes. Doing a solo beam set, and yeah, should be fun. I'm excited to try this little rig out. So let's see how it goes. All right. Now we need to finagle it around the posts. Yeah. Look at that. That's the easiest beam I've set. Good night. I have to say, that was easier than any of my beam set with the tractor. That by far was the easiest beam I've set on this project. Way easier than the tractor forks. I really like that tool. That would be worth renting one and using one. Way easier, because I don't have to go back and forth between, you know, when I'm on the tractor, I'm raising it with the forks. I don't have to hop down, check, go back and forth and back and forth. Just raise this up, wheel it around, and you're good. Heck yeah. That's exciting. And now I can do my lateral braces on this and get this set, man. I'm gonna be ready for rafters tomorrow for sure. This is fabulous. All right, so here's the ticket. If you don't have a tractor and you've got level ground that you can use little caster wheels on, get one of these. It's not cheap. It was 60 bucks for 4 hours. But if you had one of these and you had all your beams cut and ready to go, you could stand this whole frame up in certainly 1 day, 2 days. One, if you did one for the posts and two for the beams, and you could actually strap the beams and lift the, or excuse me, strap the posts and lift the post with this thing. You could raise this whole frame with this little tool, man. They lift 450 pounds 12 feet in the air. So that's pretty darn good right there.